time to pack up. How you feeling? I'm gonna take my hat off. It's too warm out here. How's your hair? Wild as ever? How's that spring breeze? If you're new to this channel, my name is Shannon and I'm a full-time photographer in beautiful British Columbia. From soaring mountains to hidden waterfalls and elusive wildlife to stunning sunsets, I'm excited to film each step of the way. Whether you're here to learn, be inspired, or simply enjoy some stunning visuals, you've come to the right place. Subscribe to my channel if you want to see more videos like this. Oh, she's a beauty. So we're out not hiking too far. We got Pampers, we got food, we got everything we need. So we're gonna go and check out the creek, set up trail cam. What else are we gonna do? Oh, there's the eagle's nest. So, without further ado, we're gonna crack on. Hopefully this little guy falls asleep. You getting sleepy? Yeah, hopefully he falls asleep. Usually he does. Hey, look over here. Is it alive? It's got its nest. Do you see it? Look. There's the Canadian geese. It's a nest right there. See it right there? It's nesting time for Canadian geese. So throughout this low-lying field in this valley, there's quite a few Canadian geese, especially where the irrigation kind of flows down through. So we kind of have to watch our step. I don't want to get attacked by those Canadian geese. Startle this guy, myself. So everything is going to be really slow today. One, I want to make sure that I don't tire out, pull my back, do any of that, because I am carrying a lot of weight now. Two, don't want to roll an ankle, rush anything, startle any of the wildlife. Yeah, just enjoy our time. We want this guy to go to sleep too, so softer, walk, hike through the field is great. We'll spend some time just hanging out. I brought a picnic blanket, brought the drone, so we might fly the drone around. There's one area that I really want to get to, not just where we're going to set up the trail cam, but there's an eagle's nest way over there. Yeah? And I'm curious to know if there's any young. So my last episode, I said that this episode I was going to do eagle's nest, and there's just too much waiting at each nest to capture any action, as well as to kind of document their habits, what they do as far as food, when do the male and females kind of take turns, are some of them hatched in some nests and other nests they aren't. Yeah, so that might be in a week or two, and I thought on this episode kind of chat a little bit about family. As you can see, I am a father. This is not some random child that I picked up. But this is my kid, and he is five months, and I still get out, I shoot. It's difficult at times because there's a lot to take care of, but photography is awesome. Gives me plenty of flexibility to listen to him wake me up with little to no sleep, but then I'm up and I photograph sunrise. I'm out early anyways, so the lack of sleep is kind of already a given, especially getting closer to the summer solstice where the sun is up so early here in Canada. And then I edit a lot of photos when he goes to bed early. Right now we're super interested in finding out what we can see. There's a whole bunch of tracks here. What do you see? Do you like this area? It's nice with the water. Now I'm coming back here to set up my trail cam because I would like to take some pictures at some point of some fawns with their spots nice and slow. There's some tracks right down here, and I think they're either raccoons. Well, they're a little too big to be raccoons. I think they're otters. There's some deer tracks, raccoon tracks. Yeah, you can see here that the bigger footprint is definitely from the otter. Nice spot to relax. I've got one baby, one blanket, one carrier. Yeah, you got a tripod. So this is what a 70-liter backpack looks against a 5-month child. You're pretty much the same. Then I got one hat. That right on you. There you go. I've got my Sony camera that I'm holding right now. I've got the Z9 right here. I got my 500mm for wildlife. Maybe some eagles. Put that over there. Then I've got teleconverter. I've got a sound system to mic myself. And then I've got my drone here with 3 batteries and a remote control. Then I've got diapers up in the front, as well as a little change cloth. I've got wipes and all the different accessories for my camera. And yeah, we got a little bit of trail mix, some food for myself, not for him. Yeah. Say cut. All right, we are leaving the forest. We made it to where the beaver lodge is. Hey, do you see the eagle's nest? It's way up there. Look at all the poop. You see all the poop there? That means there must be activity up in the nest. Yeah. Oh, there goes an eagle. Let's get out of this area. You hear him calling? Yeah, we're gonna walk away because there's no point in taking photos like close to underneath. We weren't directly underneath. I just wanted to see if there's any poop. I didn't know if there was anyone in the nest. I don't think they have any babies right now, but we're gonna take you home because you're not falling asleep during the walk. He's tuckered out. All right, we're gonna take a nap break and we'll be right back. Please hit that thumbs up. We'll see you in a moment. All right, go to sleep now. Today I'm not out here with my son. It's day 2. So I came out here yesterday. I've been down here quite a few times, and you never know really where the nests are going to show up. Right now there's one that I'm filming and taking photos of in the middle of this field, but they can be on the edge of a field, just in some thickets. They can be in swamp areas, and just like the one that I'm filming right now, it's like right in the middle of a field. Like there's a long ways before you see kind of the tree line, any bushes, and you would think it would be a really easy place to get snatched up by an eagle. And the eggs are just there, right? So they'll sit on their eggs, I think, for about 28 days from my research. Oh, here we go, we got some movement. It's kind of funny when they stand up, you can actually see their full body, but when they're laying down on the nest, you know, when a submarine is about to surface, they put up that little telescope thing, right? So that's what their heads are when they're popping out of the grass. I believe the male and the female will take turns incubating the eggs. So I'm not sure if this is the male or the female. And I want to give them a lot of space because they'll fly away and leave their nest if they feel threatened or attacked. It's happened a few times where I'll be walking along a trail and one will take off and there's a whole nest of eggs. But you just leave the nest and the eggs alone and they'll come right back to it. If you touch or move the nest in any way, they might abandon their young completely. These are federally protected, so you don't want to do that. There's so many of them, so it's pretty crazy, but you need a license to be able to do any movement, touching the eggs, any of that, because they are protected. I use this all the time, this setup where I've got my 500 f4. This is not the PF 5.6 lens. This is the f4. It is a beast. It's quite heavy. I've got a converter for my mirrorless because this is an f-mount lens for DSLR Nikon cameras. And I also have a 1.4 teleconverter. So with the 1.4, it does bump it up to 5.6, but I've got a lot more reach and still a lot of light to work with. So this is my fun setup for photographing eagles. I would love to have, say, a 600, but money, 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 right? Sometimes keep their head, their long, tall head, laying flat to the ground, and with their wings spread out, they kind of just look like a hump of dirt. And that's why they blend in, which maybe, which makes sense for prey flying above. It'll just look like another mound of dirt, another mound of grass. Now I'm zoomed in, so it's a little bit more obvious. But if I had the drone up, you can see there's the head. She or he is really low to the ground, head down, eyes down, just making sure if anyone comes by, they don't really attack, they kind of just fly away. Looks nice in the lighting. Here we got more. Oh, there goes. See, I didn't even see him. All right, we're gonna give him plenty of space. All right, buddy, as you were. The lighting right now is just so nice. I really enjoy backlighting. It can be a challenge at times because you get so much silhouette. Here's some more action. Such a big rig to go ahead and pack up every time. So I like to lock it all in place and chuck it on the back like this. Hey guys. All right, I'm gonna try and focus on where I'm stepping, go a little bit slower like I did yesterday with my son strapped to me. I made it through the battlefield of Canadian geese. There was really only one nest and it was quite new that startled me. There was a lot of space, so they give you a lot of warning before you ever, it's not like I'm gonna walk on them. Being able to come out, do photography like this, do videos. I think any photographer would be lying to you if they said it was easy, especially getting to a position where you are full-time. I've been full-time for a few years now, and I live in one of the most expensive places in Canada, maybe in North America, especially considering how small of a city Victoria is and where I live. And so it can be quite challenging to jump from a really great paying job into doing full-time photography. And how I balance my workload and still push on forward is being able to combine the things that I love with all the different challenges. And one of them is having a kid who's 5 months can be a lot of challenges. But I think if you just embrace, the outdoors, all my photography is pretty much outdoors. He just comes outdoors with us. We just went camping for a couple of days. And yeah, you just got to bring some Pampers for the road and, you know, make sure he's nice and warm. Oh, there's a lot of activity happening down there. Forget family. Look at this. Huh. Maybe this is how I'm supposed to parent. This is how I like to position my long lens just over my shoulders. I've got the f-stop bag here. It's a 70 liter. If you're curious about my gear, I've got links down below, plus I got a gear page on my website. So if you're interested in any discounts, that sort of thing, I've got a few coupon codes there. I love the gear that I've got, works really well. And this setup right here, where the tripod's just kind of sitting over my shoulders, allows me to quickly tilt it downward, spin. Even if I need to use it like a monopod, I can. I've got my video head right here. I do have a couple of other different styles of tripod heads for like wildlife photography, but when I'm capturing both photos as well as video, this video fluid head is just fantastic. So I'll switch that and I'll be able to pan, tilt, that sort of thing, and capture everything. But when I'm just doing quick little walks in and around, I just hop that over. Saves me time from not packing it up each time, putting it away. The leaves are just coming out. Can't tell if it's like a poplar tree, but they're all highlighted. See it way up there? Mama might be inside, but I want to go way out of the woods and walk in through the back here. So this right here, this is a teleconverter. It's just a piece of glass here, and that sits between the camera and the lens, and it magnifies it. So this is a 1.4 times zoom that I put in front here, and the quality may depend on the manufacturer, and this one's the third one they've put out. So it's the TC14E3. So there was a 2 and then there was a 1 before it. So there's the quality of glass, but just keep in mind that every piece of glass that you put on here, whether it's in between the lens and the camera, or if it's filters or polarizers and defilters on the end, you're going to be deteriorating sort of the image quality, because you're just adding more layers of, you know, whether it's dust, imperfections, maybe quality of glass. And that's why it's very important to have good sharp glass, because if you put a kit lens on a pro body camera, you're only going to get kit lens glass quality of image. So you're going to have softer images. The speed for autofocus might not be nearly as fast. So this one works really well. I will be losing some light because I'm furthering the distance from the sensor to the light. Like going further into a tunnel, it's going to be darker. So it goes from an f4 on this 500mm lens to a 5.6. So I do lose some light. The speed with the Nikon Z9, it seems to be pretty fast, but also the focusing speed can be a bit of a challenge depending on the camera body that you have paired with this teleconverter and the lens that you are using. So just take a look at your manuals, maybe do some research online. A teleconverter might be a great option for you instead of having to buy a longer telephoto lens like a 600 or an 800. You throw on a teleconverter and you get that extra reach. Lose a little bit of light, but it's worth it. So I think if you wanted to pursue a full-time career in doing creative works like photography, videography, social media, I think being diverse is a big one. taking on many different roles within photography. I enjoy landscape and wildlife, but to be able to do that full time and pay for a mortgage and all of my equipment, my computer, my hard drives, all of that is a bit of a stretch. It's really difficult just to go from doing this evenings and weekends and making money on the side, let alone leaving a really good full-time job and doing this full-time. And then once you do it full-time, you need to be able to fill in that huge void of time that normally you would get a paycheck every 2 weeks if you're working for an employer, to sending out invoices, a lot of bookkeeping, taxes. Yeah, there's a lot. I don't need to go through the whole list. But you got to be diverse. And I had another photographer told me when I was a lot younger, kind of getting into it. He says, "Oh, do you do weddings?" I said, "Oh, I'll never do weddings." And I've turned down a lot of friends and family saying, "No, I'm not doing weddings. I'm not gonna do that." And so this really wise photographer that's been in doing it as a career for a very long time told me, he's just like, no matter what, every photographer is asked, and at some point you'll end up doing a wedding, whether it's for your best friend or your friends or your friends. I think that was good to hear. I ended up doing a few weddings, and at the very beginning realizing that one, everyone looks amazing on the day. A lot of the times there's some cool architecture that you can kind of shoot. So it's not just people, it's the atmosphere, it's the building. And that's a skill that you can kind of just add and put into your tool belt. Not only that, but get paid as well. Architectural photography, commercial photography. Some of my first jobs were photographing for a helicopter company, and that opened the door to many jobs and adventures as well, being able to photograph from out of a helicopter to the landscape down below, which is just amazing. Didn't have to pay for any of it. So yeah, so I've shot for helicopter companies. I've even done videos. This has been quite a while ago, but writing the script, acting, and filming kind of the whole step-by-step emergency, you know, how to open the doors, unbuckle, that sort of thing of a helicopter. So those experiences I carry with me, and it's helped kind of build up all the different bridges that can lead you to landscapes or wildlife, and getting paid to be able to do that. Anything else you want to say? Yep, subscribe is what he's saying, and he said thumbs up. What else? Oh yeah, hit that notification bell. And we'll see you in the next episode. He also says Daddy's broke because he's a photographer.